What's going on YouTube? In this video I'm going to be going over how I plan on dropping 10 pounds in the next 5 days to make my weight class for Collegiate Nationals. This morning being Sunday, I woke up at 213.6 pounds and I plan on competing on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, and I have a little extra wiggle room because I compete at 6 p.m. and I will be competing in the 205 pound or the 93 kilo weight class. So this gives me about a 10 pound water cut, and this is how I plan on doing it. The reason why I'm going to be utilizing a water cut as opposed to actually dieting down into this weight class is because I'm pretty much going to be a 215 pound, 214 pound person with fat and muscle, and I'm just going to hopefully be 205 pounds for a couple of hours. But then after replenishing my water, electrolytes, food within me, then I will be again a 215 pound person, and then just carrying that extra mass will help me have a decent total. So the way I plan to go about this is the first 3 days I'm going to up my water intake by a lot. So the reason why I would do this is because that's going to help my body get used to a lot of water, and I guess it's going to increase my excretion of that water. I'm also going to be upping my sodium a significant amount. So my water intake, for most people you can go about 2 gallons depending on how much water you drink. That doubles most people's intake. For me, I just drink a lot of liquid, so I usually drink probably 2 to 3 gallons of diet soda, water, intra-workout and such throughout the day. So I'm probably going to be bumping that up to 4 gallons per day. So I'm going to be friends with this BPA-free water bottle that I got from bodybuilding.com. It came free with, I think it was like a $75 purchase. So I'm going to be filling this up a couple times throughout the day and hopefully get that down about 4 times. If anything, a little is better, but of course, don't be drinking a gallon within like 5-10 minutes because that's dangerous. You can really dilute your electrolytes, and that can cause some complications and also death. But I'm going to be upping that, and then I'm also going to be upping my sodium intake. I think that I also probably have a relatively higher intake. Most people will up it to about 4 to 5 grams per day. I plan on upping mine to probably around 6 or 7, maybe even 8 grams. Also, sodium intake does not have a very strong correlation with chronic levels of blood pressure. In the acute setting, it may raise blood pressure, but over a long period of time, it does not. This is because with sodium, our bodies again are very, very adaptive, so especially with our kidneys. The reason why you up your water and your sodium is because it's going to have your body very used to excreting all of that extra water and sodium that you were taking in at the time. So then day 4 and day 5, I'm going to be cutting those both down a significant amount. So for day 4, this is going to be 2 days out. That is going to be Thursday. I'm going to be cutting my water intake down to half as much, so it's going to be 2.5 gallons. And then I'm also going to be cutting my sodium down to less than 1 gram. I'm also going to be lowering my carb intake also, but I'll go over that in a little bit. So I'm going to be lowering those 2 days out. Then I'm going to pretty much knock those out completely. Probably knock water down to a half gallon or a gallon on Friday, and then probably going to be sips Saturday, seeing where I am the next day, and also pretty much take about 0 sodium. That's going to be like Friday, and then throughout the day I'm going to be seeing where I am. And also there's a sauna within, I think, 15 minutes from the venue. So if need be, I have a little bit of wiggle room. I can wake up early, see where my weight's at, and if need be, can always that's always good to do. Try to be ready earlier. Whenever you have a weigh-in coming up, wake up early, see where you're at, and then you can adjust as need be throughout the day. So that is my plan for that. A couple of other easy things to do to get your water cut going is I'm also going to be lowering carb intake the last 2 days of this. I'm not going to be adjusting my calories too much, but I'm going to drop my carb intake a little bit. So 3 days out, I'm going to be lowering my carb intake to about, trying to be less than 50, probably the next day being Thursday, probably again less than 50. Then the last day, Friday, going to lower it as much as I can under like 50, 25. So that's going to involve, I don't even know how I'm going to be doing that exactly. I'm going to have to eat a lot of meats, and then also like peanuts, a lot of heavy, dense fat foods. They do come with carbs, like peanut butter or nuts. So I'm going to be figuring that out as I go. And The reason you would do that is because when you eat carbs, they hold a lot of fluid, they absorb a lot of fluid. So when you ingest, I think I heard that it's about like 4 times their weight in water they will hold. So if you are eating a lot of carbs, that's just going to sit, those carbs sit in your stomach and they're just going to absorb any water that comes in. It's going to hold that. That's why in a lot of ketogenic diets, you lose a lot of weight initially very quickly, because you lose the carbohydrates that are normally in your stomach just in there holding water, which is weight. So then you clear those out. You're not just losing the weight of the carbs that were there, you're also losing some of that water weight that was just chilling there. So that's another strategy I'm going to use to get my weight down. Also, emergency sauna if need be, or if anything gets really close and I really need to lose extra pounds, I'm probably going to do some sprints or something of the like. The way I'm going to be getting a lot of this extra water and sodium is, of course, by using a big water jug. I use Nalgene bottles usually, and that makes it easy. 4 of those is a gallon. If I use a gallon container, I just have to drink that 4 times. Usually having a bigger container is going to help you count and also get a higher intake of fluid. And also to get that sodium, that's going to be probably a little more difficult, soy sauce shots. I won't say day of you want to do soy sauce shots, but definitely further out. For my most recent photo shoot, which I did at Adelante Barbell Club, I had to get sodium. I wanted to get that into my body to get like some good pumps, of course. And so during the day I was just doing soy sauce shots. Like a couple hours out, I wanted to get my sodium up. And what happened was I was feeling a lot of digestion issues, and it wasn't sitting well. So then I switched to salt and just weighed on some salt, and that got me the sodium I needed, but it also didn't make my stomach have any issues. So definitely, maybe a couple days out, soy sauce will be a good idea. But then probably you're not going to want to use it like 1 to 2 days out, because it could cause you digestive issues, and that's not a good time, and you don't want to hit the platform feeling like that. So, and don't forget, when you add in salt to get your sodium, it is not only sodium, it is sodium chloride. So I think it's about, you have to double it, double the weight. So if you have about 10 grams of salt, it's probably 5 grams of sodium. So keep that in mind. There's an equation that you can use. Really easy ways for you to get your weight down for a water cut. If you're very close, you can probably utilize these 3 things that'll get you to where you need to be. First is just going to be hold your fluids like 24 hours out. Like finish drinking water 24 hours out, and then pretty much go into your way, and that should help you keep some weight off. Number 2, finish your calories early in the day before. And that means you're just going to want to finish your calories probably like 2 or 4 p.m. if you have like the next morning weigh-in or so. And that's just going to be more time for your body to excrete that food. You'll notice if you have a dinner at like 4 o'clock and then you weigh in the next morning, you may have not even literally excreted it, but you will have a lower weigh-in because it's been a longer time since your last meal, as opposed to if you have your last meal at like 8, 9, or 10 p.m. And then 3, this one is easy. Again, just eat the same amount of calories, but reduce your carbohydrate, because that is going to hold a lot of water. So those are the 3 things. Finish eating and drinking early in the day, and then also have a higher fat intake as opposed to a higher carb intake. And you can probably do that maybe a few days out, and that should work well for you. I'm also going to be bringing Pedialyte packets, or as I like to call pixie sticks, to get my sodium and everything back in once I cut that all out, and we're going to see how this goes. So that is my plan for Collegiate Nationals, how I'm going to make my weight class. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave it a like if you did, and I'll see you on the platform.